Hi, the government of India is giving out a lot of incentive schemes for companies who are planning to export. So, if you are one of those startup founders who has got a little bit lesser understanding of these import and export schemes, then this video is for you guys to watch out. So, duty drawback is one of the most popular forms of the government schemes that is there out in the market. And if you're a startup, this is a must scheme that you should get into or utilize. So, this happens wherein a certain percentage of the FOB value of your shipments that you have exported or you're couriered or you're sent by post, the government gives the amount back to you in your bank accounts. This happens within 30 days of a time frame that has been set, and this is in context to the central excise duties or the duties that you might have paid. A courier mode is also pretty much very important in context to duty drawback. So if you are sending out smaller shipments that is up to maybe around 70 kilos, you're still eligible. You need to just take care that all the labels of your packing has to have this word of duty drawback export that has to be mentioned at all times. There are also certain scenarios wherein you're re-exporting, wherein you've imported certain materials and you now want to use it or you don't want to use it, and you're trying to resend these equipments back. So government also gives you a mandate or an element, an option wherein up to 90% of this duty that you had actually paid can be refunded back to you. RODTP is one of the very new schemes that's been recently launched, maybe around in the 1st of Jan, and very less information is available right now. However, we are supposed to get more information in the month of April. It purely states that it gives you a refund of central excise, state, and local taxes. So, government does not want you to export taxes because you've already paid those taxes. So, at the time of the shipment, the government would want you to not export those taxes and just get that money refunded, so it helps you become much more competitive in the global environments. And the earlier scheme was a scheme called MEIS, which has now been absorbed under the RODTEP scheme. The another popular scheme, but very underutilized, is the SEIS. So this scheme is purely in the focus of service providers. So if you're a service provider and you're getting foreign exchange to your bank accounts, then the government, what they want to do is they want to incentivize the service providers for bringing in foreign currency. What matters to the government is the foreign currency or the foreign exchange that you're trying to bring in context to this. However, a lot of us are not aware that you are eligible for SEIS also. This kind of a license is a document. So it's a certificate or it's an import license with physical format that you get. So you're supposed to approach the Director General of Foreign Trade, or locally known as the DGFT. And once you approach DGFT with all the documents in place and submit your claim stating that you have done a service export of these $1,000 and these are the proof and everything put together, the government would issue your license. And as you grow, as you evolve, what also happens is that you would be importing a lot of capital equipment just for enhancing the production or starting off the production. Now, government wants to encourage the import of capital goods. So, what they've come up with is the export promotion of capital goods, or known as EPCG. So, under EPCG, you can save the entire duty of the capital goods that you imported. And what the government is again expecting is purely exports. So, what it mandates is whatever duty you have saved, you can just export around 6 times of it in around 6 years of time. The final scheme is the advance authorization, so which, as the name suggests, it's purely on the duty-free imports. If you have planned everything in advance for a certain shipment, you can import those inputs and then export the shipments, and you do not have to pay any of the duty onto the imported inputs that you have locally procured. So these are in a gist of the 5 schemes that I spoke about. I would be sharing certain links in the description below so that you guys get a little bit more understanding of what these schemes are in more. And do feel free to talk to me, ask me a lot of questions around these schemes put together, because it's a very diverse and very broad area for us startups, as we are in a mix of a lot of things. So do come out with all the questions and I would try my best to answer the entire aspects of elements put together. Alright, thank you guys, and I think in this season I will be posting more videos in context to each scheme all put together so that we are able to get a much more understanding of all these schemes in depth.